Back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Eve Tanaskoska of Northville Girls Basketball. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I think I got your whole last name right, so I think that's a win.
Yeah.
But overall, good start to the season so far. 2-0 on the year. How do you think things are going?
I think things are pretty good, even with like only 8 practices in. I think that we kind of got it together early on, and just having a lot of our like returning players really helped us kind of just pick up where we left off last year.
Yeah. So going into these practices, knowing that there is like, I talked to coach a few weeks ago, and he can't remember a time where the season started in November. What was that like to have, not as many practices, but kind of, the season starts a little earlier for you guys.
Mhm. Well, I think it was nice having games early on, but it was also a lot harder because I think we weren't as used to playing with each other yet because it was only 8 practices, obviously. So we were still trying to get back our chemistry a little bit from last year. But I think overall it's going pretty well so far, and I think we're beginning to like blend together again.
Sure. Kind of talk about just what this team has been like. I know you guys lost a lot of seniors, but obviously you and Sydney and everybody else really has kind of stepped up on this team.
Yeah. So we have 7 seniors this year, which is obviously a lot. I think most of our team is 3 or 4 year varsity players. So I think even though we lost our 2 seniors from last year that played a really big role in like our district win and everything, I still think that we should be able to take care of business this year too.
Yeah, for sure. When you look at this season so far, knowing that it's gonna be a potentially big year for you, especially in the division. In a division that's notably, you know, Heartland, Howell, Brighton, usually at the top, and you guys are up there too. But obviously, everyone the conference being dominated by Brighton, Heartland, Howell's up in that mix as well.
Yeah.
But this year it's kind of like, everyone, this is the kind of first time in a long time that you really don't know what's going to happen this year.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think even like Salem was pretty low ranked, and I think all of our teams it just we all are around the same level. So I think that it's gonna be a battle every night, and that we really have to like bring our best game to every game and make sure that we're working hard.
What was the one of the biggest things that you worked on this off season?
I think I definitely worked on ball control, just like being able to like control the tempo of the game, and then shooting was another thing that I was working on a lot.
Yeah, and really kind of coming up in these next few games for you guys. I know a lot of people have that game circled on the calendar on the 16th with Mercy on the same.
Yeah.
How exciting is that? And that's also you guys are also playing on the same night. The boys are playing Detroit Catholic Central, so big night for you guys with Mercy, and then the boys with Catholic Central. Kind of a same night doubleheader for everybody. But it's gonna be fun with two great matchups too.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. We're all like our whole team has been very, very excited to play them. I've known a lot of the girls on that team. We've been teammates, so I think it's going to be a very good matchup, a good game to watch.
What's it like just playing against people that you've played against in AAU or other leagues that you've been a part of? What's that like? Because it's like everyone knows each other.
Yeah, I think when you play against people in AAU, it kind of gives you more of an idea of how they play in high school season. So it's sometimes a little bit easier to guard them, but I think high school season it's also like they're playing different offenses, so it's still you have to adjust a little bit. So it's a little bit easier, but there's some aspects that are still like you have to adjust.
Yeah. Also, what games do you got coming up? Obviously, everyone's looking at the big game on the 16th. But overall, what do you have the rest of the year?
Tomorrow we play against Grozeal. We're away, and then after that we have our holiday tournament in the over winter break, so that should be pretty fun. I think. I don't think we've won it the past 2 years, but hopefully, I think that we'll be able to pull through this year and get a win for that. And then once winter breaks over, that we start our division play. So
Conference play is always going to be fun, and obviously, we talked about that
yeah,
a little bit there. But conference play is always going to be, um, it's gonna be interesting. How are you guys adjusting to that? You don't really in December. It's like games are kind of all around. You don't really have. Sometimes you might have weeks where you have two games, and with the
Mhm.
holiday tournaments, you have back-to-back games. But
Yeah.
really, when we get into January, that's when you see the Tuesday Friday stuff kind of really kick in.
Mhm. Yeah. I think it's gonna be. It was I think at the beginning, I think we were still just kind of getting back into like learning our plays because we're trying to use similar things from last year, maybe making some modifications that we can kind of just build off of the stuff that we had last year. And so that we don't have to completely start from like new. I know we've been working on our defense a lot and trying to make sure that we are trapping and like getting our rotations in. And I think that that's been going pretty well for us just from the games that we have had so far. So I think that as the season goes on, we'll get even better with that.
Yeah. And of course, you mentioned Friday you guys are going to Grove Seal. That's a bit of a drive. I don't know if you.
Yeah, yeah, an hour and 15 minutes away.
Okay, so I don't know I don't know if you guys are taking cars or buses or something like that. I would never good to assume, but bus maybe.
Yeah, we're taking a bus, team
Okay.
bus.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. What's it going to be like? It's an hour 15 going there. What's that getting being on a bus for that long? That's gonna be a tough challenge for you guys. How are you guys gonna really adjust to that going somewhere very far away?
Um, I think I think that we'll be able to adjust. I think that it just we have to stay as a team. I think we can use that time for like team bonding a little bit, like listening to music or like just doing stuff on the bus just to be like together and like grow our kind of chemistry a little bit on and off the court. So I think it'll be like a good experience for us.
Okay. Last thing is, what do you want to see out of what do you want to see out of yourself? And what do you want to see out of first off, actually, what do you want to see out of this team? And what do you want to see out of yourself trying to help your team win?
So obviously I want us to go back and win another district. I think that we have a pretty good chance of making it far this year. I want to try to win regionals too, maybe get it to states. Um, on a personal level, I want to try to get as like many assists and like try to dish the ball out to as many people as I can while keeping my turnovers down. Also improve my shooting percentage from last year on 3 pointers and 2 pointers, and then be able to just like control the game for my team and make sure that even if there's like times where like we're losing or we're starting to like panic, I want to be able to just calm us down and just get us back in control of the game.
All right. Well, Ava, thank you so much for coming out and talking with us. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.